Now,
Yeah.
again, I keep seeing you show up on my timeline, and I've known you for a handful of years, and a lot of
Yeah.
people think they know you and they know your face, but you've been a
Yeah.
brain. You've been a brain, and so
Yeah.
now I see you. I see you being real vocal on social media, real active. Your activism hat is really shining these
Mhm.
days. What led you to that point?
Always been like that. It's just people are noticing more now. That's all.
Mhm.
Um, ever since, I mean, we can go back to college before anyone knew who I was. I was in the Black Student Alliance. When the Rodney King verdict hit in California, I was going to school in Ohio, and people don't know this, but I used to work for the newspaper in Baldwin Wallace was a college I went to in
Mhm.
Berea, Ohio, and I put together a nonviolent protest event at my school. We only had like 50 black people there. It was all white people, but I felt like it needed to be done. Like us 50 people matter too. So we had an event where we had a few speakers, and I put it together, me and this brother, and I was so proud of it, right? The white kids were like, I'm glad someone did this, because after the verdict, not everybody agreed with the police
Right.
officers being let free, but all black folks were like angry at white people. And it was an event where we could get stuff off our chest, how we're feeling marginalized and how they can ask questions. It was a success, right? Felt so good about it. Go back to my dorm room. The next day I leave for my track meet, get back home. I had an answer machine, press a little old school button, and it was a message from the Klan. It was like, you black, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Black
Yes.
nigger bitch, we're gonna come kill you, and we know where you are, and your room number is your phone number. So for me, I've been a part of this, like standing up for black folks and for defending us, and calling out the bullshit, since that was what, 93.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I always worked in journalism. I care about the truth. When we were younger, my mother, she bought us encyclopedias back in 1984. So I would read encyclopedias every night, and I would just be versed on, just be well read. I didn't really know I don't really rock with fiction, like fairy tales and all that kind of stuff. I'm more about what really happened and facts.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I get attacked. They put me on the Breitbart side a couple times, and then
Mm.
all the Trumpers and the right, the extreme right, they be hitting me up sometimes talking this shit. I'm like, whatever, come see me.
But you a few years ago you was playing around with the idea of doing stand up, which I was like
Yeah.
completely rooting for, and I've seen you tested it out a couple times, and I feel like that would have been a hell of a way to go, because comics we get to say what most people can't, so that would
Oh
have been
no,
an
I hate it when they
easy
come
way
in.
to get that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not too late, and I
It's
hosted a
not.
few comedy shows, and I did a little bit, and I was at the roast of Dennis Robb, and I did that, and I liked it, but I give you guys all the credit. I had to get my confidence up for a while before I went on and did it. And then once I did, I'm like, you got to get back on stage right away, I think,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
sharp.
You
Because
can't take breaks. Ain't no breaks.
no, and now I took a long time away from it, but it's just getting up there and talking your shit, your truth, and
Yeah.
and look at the impact that comedians are making. Look at Dave Chappelle with his 846, and just like, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
You
It's
never
time.
know.
It's in between selling houses and showing
Right?
and showing. All right, what you think about let's hit some of the news headlines from today. What do you think about the
Okay.
whole because a lot of companies are coming out making apologies, and I for one, I'm boycotting the apologies. Like the apologies mean absolutely nothing to me. These big statements. I turn on the TV and the channel, the profile in the channel is an apology. Like Hulu got one and
Right.
Amazon, and then today Netflix, the husband and wife behind Netflix, donated 120 million to they split 40 million apiece to the UNCF, Morehouse, and Spelman, which is a big deal. Not taken away from it, but it's like 115 other black HBCUs, and but these apologies, like the one Oklahoma State coach who apologized for wearing a T-shirt because his player said we're not playing for you because you're on the bullshit. And then this
What T-shirt do
morning
you have on?
he had a right wing radio show that he listened to. He went fishing with his family, wore the shirt, took a picture, posted online. One of his players was like, "Oh nah, I knew you was on that bullshit. That makes me uncomfortable. We're not playing for you this year." So then he had a whole press conference apologizing. And people are saying, what he wears on his own time, and you shouldn't have had to apologize. And I'm like, all that, it's too late for all of that. Like we're not hearing none of that now. At least I'm not.
What he wears in his own time. Let's just flip the script for 1 second, shall we?
There we go.
I'm gonna say something real quick. People are gonna get mad at me for this, but whatever. We all know, okay, Black folks and Jewish folks have been through some disgusting, violent treatment in this world, right? With the Holocaust and slavery, and they're comparable, right? As far as like tragedy and murders and just disgusting. We know better than to wear anything that would support anything that has to do with making fun of, not taking it seriously, being insensitive. What we just know this, right? Why does everybody else know to not do that? But with Black people, for some reason, our pain is just like, you know, it's something that they can make fun of.
That we'll just get over.
Not take it seriously, and all they do is say sorry. Imagine if we would make an insensitive comment or wear a t-shirt that supported a pro-Nazi show or had a stove on it or something like very poor, like really horribly, like, you know,
insensitive message. Yeah.
We would be canceled in business. Like, it would be a wrap.
Yeah.
White folks, yes, they are saying sorry, and they need to say sorry because a lot of times, and I just hope it's not just on trend. It feels like it's a little bit in style right now.
Right. Yeah.
But let's take it though. Let's let them apologize.
Let
them spend their money.
They can keep apologizing and donating. Yeah, but the apologies, I'm like, it's not going like they making it like it's so hard to deal now. I'm like, you can deal with it. We've dealt with it. You can deal with it. You can deal with it. Yeah. Like it's everything is so difficult now. Is white oppression and it, just dealing with so much. We're under attack.
They're oppressed. Can you tell me what TV network that we own that we're oppressing them with the media and the messages, or what corporations that we are running, what industries we're running to oppress their white tears? How are we oppressing them? We're not oppressing them. We're holding them accountable, but they've never been held accountable, so it feels like oppression to them because they're like, why can't we say the N-word? Or oh my God, I can't say, it's not fun for us anymore. God damn, it ain't been fun for us either.
Now I know you got to run, but what do you think about the Aunt Jemima? So Aunt Jemima got removed from the box, and then Uncle Ben followed up. They said we taking Uncle Ben off. Now breakfast is woke. We got to get new syrup. Got to get some woke syrup, woke waffles, and woke rice. Do you think that's too much, or everything must go? Everything.
It was a bit much. I was like, okay. Aunt Jemima syrup is bomb though.
Yeah. Like what you gonna call it? What you gonna call it now?
We rename it?
Yeah.
What's hypocritical? If you leave it, yeah, I guess we can't leave it, right?
Yeah,
Uncle Ben it does give me like slavery vibes. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what are we doing? And maids and all that kind of stuff. Promoting those images are not really great. And I feel like it's something that people make fun of.
Yeah.
And this awakening happened in the LGBTQ community a few years back, where it went from people used to make fun, and it was politically, it wasn't like that frowned upon. Like in media, people would say the F word, all kinds of things. Then all of a sudden, it was an uprising, and all kind of laws got passed. And guess what? You can't say shit about anybody in the LGBTQ.
Nope. Because it worked. The movement worked. Y'all do y'all thing, handle your business, make that money. I appreciate you stopping by on the show. We'll make sure we set up and we have you back on.
Anytime, Lamont, I got you.
Appreciate it. Well, y'all enjoy yourself.
Congrats to you.
Likewise. All right, I'll holla. Claudia Jordan, ladies and gentlemen, formerly of Deal or No Deal, Price is Right, Real Housewives of Atlanta, doing big things out there. Appreciate it for stopping through. Trying to tell y'all, man, the show, just Let's Go Live is official. It's a real thing. So do what you can to tune in whenever you hear that the show is going live. It may not be on these platforms for too much longer. So I just appreciate y'all for being there when it launched, when it kicked off. I stayed up last night and I started my the Patreon, right? And I was like, that might be the thing. So for y'all, you know, people that's been with us for the first 3 weeks, I may have to do a little special thing where we just roll y'all over to the Patreon for the frizzy, and then, you know, we jump it off like that. Y'all can get inside. That way, this content is going to be like, hey, you seen the show? Nah, I ain't heard it. What's it on? Well, you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at. But yeah, she was in The Apprentice too. She definitely was. She's very well rounded. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't give her credit because, you know, you only see so much when you're playing the Hollywood game, so you don't get a chance to show those real sides of you. But, you know, as we've seen this between the lockdown and the protests and this new civil rights movement that's taking place right now, you know, a lot of people showing their ass, you know what I mean, in a good way. So that's what's up. I'm glad she took the time out to mess with your boy.